So hello everyone. So welcome back to the course Essentials of Object-Oriented Design and Programming. So we are in the module 3, Inheritance in C++. In this module, in this session, we will be discussing single and multiple inheritance. And in the last session, we discussed the introduction to inheritance and types of inheritance. Now we'll be seeing single and multiple inheritance with the example to code. Let us start with a single inheritance. So single inheritance is we are having one base class, one subclass, or one superclass, one subclass. So the class extends to the other class only. So base class is this one and derived class is this one. So colon access specifier in which mode you're inheriting. Public, private or protected, and the base class name. So while inheriting, no need to insert the class name over here, only give the class name, no need to insert the class keyword here. Only while defining the class, you should supposed to use the class keyword for defining the class. Let us see the example. So the same example. So from the diagram, actually I'm implementing the example. So class A is a base class, class B is a derived class. So class A is a base class B is a derived class. So class B public, in a public mode, I'm inheriting the class A to the class B. Okay. So in a public mode, class A is inherited to the class B. Okay. So class B colon public the class A. A is inherited to the class B in a public mode, which means all the public will become public, private will become, protected will become protected, and private never inherited. For the safe side, I'm using the class base class A, all the member data and member function in a public access mode for ease of understanding to avoid the difficulties. Okay, so int x is the one member data, get data is read the value from the terminal and have it. So end of the class. So class B is inheriting the class A in a public mode. All the public will be available here also. So int y and read data are the member data and member function of the class B. So in addition to this, all the public members is copied, readily available in the class B in a public mode. Okay. So this read data is reading the y value from the terminal in the class B. So in the and show function in the class B is displaying x and y because x is in a public mode of inheritance and x is also is inherited in a class B. So in a class B, with the show function displaying the x value and y value. Even though x is belong to the class A, because of the inheritance, the x and get data is actually inherited to the public part of public mode of in a class B. So end of the class, the semicolon, in a main function, create an object for derived class. So my derived class is class B, get an object, and you can call all the methods, get data, read data, x, y, everything is available in the class B, so that you can create an object for the derived class B and you can call the base class function get data, read data, and show function by the derived class object obj. Okay. I think you got the how the single inheritance or simple inheritance is actually working. So this is the another real world application using banking. So here I'm not explaining what is there inside the function and the member data. I'll explain the overview. So we'll see this one. So overview. So base class name is bank account and I'm inheriting to the savings account in a public mode. Okay. So base class attributes of name, balance, account number, and the two functions open and the display. The plus represents them in a public mode. All are in a public mode. And in derived class name is savings account. I'm inheriting the bank account in a public mode, so that all the name, all the member data, member function of the base class is actually available in the derived class, inherited to the derived class. Okay. So with the diagram and explain the outline. So base class name is bank account. So it is having member data and member function in a public access mode. Okay. And end of the base class bank account. Okay. So savings account is the derived class colon public in a public mode. I'm inheriting the bank account to the savings account. So colon public mode of inheritance, base class name is bank account, so that all the public members are readily available in the public access mode of derived class. Okay. So end of the class, and here I'm having a function member function and two member function deposit and withdraw, and create an object for the derived class. Savings account is my derived class. Create an object, and you can call all the methods. Open, display is copied to here, not copied, which is inherited to the derived class. So s dot open, s dot display, s dot deposit, s dot withdraw. So with the derived class object yes, you can call base class method deposit, open, display, deposit, withdraw, and display again. Okay. So real world scenario, banking scenario, single inheritance is actually appeared here. So with the diagram, I think you can easily understand how it is happening. Okay. So next inheritance is actually multiple inheritance, multiple base classes. So more than one base class is there. So here in the example, I given two base classes. You can have as many as base classes as you want. So in a class C is inheriting from more than one base class. Okay. So base class 1, base class 2, base class 3 or 4, whatever, how many bases as you want, you can have. In a derived class, access mode, base class 1, comma, access mode, base class 2, and so on and so forth. So this is the way to inherit in a multiple inheritance. So you can have this diagram. So savings account is the base class 1, loan account is the base class 2. In savings account, I'm having a two member function, and say loan account, I'm having a two member function. So both the classes are inherited in a public mode to the premium account. So all the methods are readily available in the derived class premium account. So here also I'm not going to explain what is happening inside every function. Let me explain how the overview of the coding which is implemented using this real world example banking. Okay, two base classes, savings account and loan account. So coming to the diagram, base class 1 is savings account. So it is having some member data and member function, two member function, and end of the class, and the second base class is loan account. Loan account, member data, member functions. So generally we will be having member data in a protected or private, member function in a public. General way of discipline of writing code in inheritance is member data in a private or protected, member function in public part, public access mode. So here we are having a function, several functions over here. So two base classes, savings account and the loan account. So the public, coming to the diagram. So in a premium account is derived derived uh, derived class, which is inheriting the savings account, comma, loan account. Check out this inheritance. So premium account is the derived class, colon, public base class 1, comma, public base class 2. So both the classes, the base classes are inherited in a public mode. So all the public members will become public in a derived class. Protected will become private here. Okay. So you can create an object for the derived class premium account, and you can call all the member functions. So open account belong to bank account. Deposit also belong to bank account, and loan, open loan is belong to loan account. Calculate EMI also belong to loan account, and show all is only function belong to the derived class. So with the base derived class object, you call all the base class functions. Okay. So you can go through the coding, what is there inside every function. So open account deposit belongs to the savings account. Open loan calculate EMI function belongs to loan account. So all the four functions are given into the premium account. So you can create object for premium account, and you can call all the methods. Show all is the function in the derived class. You can call the fifth function with the derived class object. That is what given over here. So just go through the code. I'm just explain how the inheritances happen, and object creation and the function, member function invocation. So what is there inside every function, just go through. It's a calculation only, simple statement only. Okay. So this is the example of multiple inheritance example. Okay. So that's all. End of this chapter. See you in the next chapter.